Here we are. Here we are. Here we are. God, I managed to write on X that we are live. So we are officially live right now, I guess. I can close my X profile, move to some more meaningful page, see if Git is in a good shape, and how many files close. Okay, perfect. Everything changed here. And suspense for nothing. I can close this and go into the right folder here, and you're not seeing anything yet, but you will in a moment. Just give me one more time, which is not a unit of measurement of time. One more time. One more second, maybe. I think we're looking good. I can go to Streamlabs and change the scene. Which one is the right one? This one. Hello, hello. Hello, hello, and welcome to myself, because there's no one else here right now. Yet. I could actually, yeah. So this way I should have a little bit of visual, I don't know how to say it, on the activity feed and my chat. So maybe I'll notice if someone writes something. Actually, I could move the computer a little bit nearer to myself. Yeah, this will do. It's not very flashy actually, so it might happen that I miss something. I have to find a better way. I have to put some widget. I mean, wait a sec, because if I open Twitch on my mobile phone and plug it to the electric energy, because it won't stay alive very long this way. Do I have any charger here? Yeah, well, thank you, wife. Thank you, wife, for providing me electric energy. I'm stealing that. I'm totally stealing that. And here we are. Yeah, I can live with that. I think it's better than having it on the computer. So on the PC, I will be able to, well, all these little icons here on the bottom mean nothing to me. Absolutely nothing. I don't know. What is this? Oh, okay, the feed. And then the chat. And then... Okay, so nothing explosive and nothing that will destroy my world. Rapid actions, and again, a lot of very stylized icons that I can't really say what they do. Yeah. So this is... okay, this is to change streaming information. I really don't know what this is. Okay. This is only emoticon. Only followers. No. Okay. So I'm discovering a lot of stuff. I'm discovering a lot of stuff right now for some reason. What? Oh, okay. I understand now. and this is to create the clips. Okay, so nothing that I need right now. Perfect. Abandon the clip. Yeah, abandon the clip. I don't need the clip. I need the chat, and the chat is here, and I will see if someone writes anything. I guess. Let me do it a little bit. Yo, hello, welcome. I'm setting up everything like the noob that I am, but every time we learn something new, and sooner or later we'll not be noobs anymore. But for now, this is how we have to live. So here we are. We can start programming. This cable is very, very, very precarious, but will do. We were left last time. Let me just fix these pages because they are all over the place. Let's see if everything resembles what we had last time. So if I load a file here, what if I load this very little file and that works? Then we had it working on put as well last time. So let's check. Let's check if I do this. Seems to be working. I start to follow you on Twitter and hope you'll follow me back. Well, I'll manage to do that after the stream for sure. For sure. Thank you though. So putting this worked, and the last time I think we left a lot of prints around the code base. So yeah, so it's writing down what it's doing, and this again is the case where the stream of bytes is consumed in one chunk. So we already saw that we got that working, and it's here. Look, no, it's not here. It's here actually. I don't remember the name. Multipart. Yeah, this one. So this is it. Where is it? Where is it? It is. Found a new line. This is the old code. So no, it's a little bit above this. Yes, this else here. I must zoom in because it's not. You can see anything in the. Why my phone is getting black? I can't see anything. Let me just set the display not to sleep, because if so, it's all the contraption I made here is worth nothing. Here, never suspend the display. Tomorrow I will be wondering why I have only 10% of battery after 1 hour without any charger, but it's a problem for me of the future. This was the else case, just a little a refresher. This handles how to make it shorter than the last time. We are reading the body. This is kind of a state machine. I'm pretty much in love with state machine. My wife could tell you that today we built another one to to handle lazy loading for YouTube scripts on another page where we actually have JavaScript. And when we're reading the body, it means we already read the headers in the HTTP request. So we read the first line, which is a division, a separator. How is it called here? It is called I cannot find it. Where is it? Yeah, right, it's here. Boundary. We read a boundary, then we read the headers, then an empty new line comes up, and we eat that, and then it's a endless stream of bytes, which is not endless, by the way, but it's much longer because it's the entire file that we have to ingest. We have to take in from the input stream, chunk by chunk, put it in a temporary file, and then recognize when the file finished. The problem is there, recognizing when we are approaching the end of the file, because when we are in the middle of the file and the file is several megabytes long, you are just getting 8 kilobytes a time from the stream, and you get 8, and then you get 8, and then you get 8, and then when you get towards the end, it could very well be that the end of the file falls not exactly in a perfect division of 8 kilobytes. So you might fall short. You might truncate the boundary string, which is this guy here. I don't know if you can see it. I can copy it into the editor so you can see it a little bit bigger. Here is it. Okay, this is the boundary. It's this string here. You will have countless bytes for megabytes and megabytes. Okay, so every kind of symbol, if you try to render it as text, then you have a new line like this. Okay, so carriage return plus line feed. Is there out? Yeah, the audio is fine. Then you have one line where you have dash dash the boundary string, which is this one for my browser. I mean, every request has a randomly generated boundary string, but apparently WebKit always starts with 4 dashes WebKit form boundary and then a random string, and then in the end you get 2 more dashes and another carriage return on line feed. Okay, so we just have to be sure that in the end we read up until that point, this point actually, this 3, now it's a 3, it could be everything, anything. Okay, so here you can see that I was trying to make it stop a little bit before, because we got into a situation where there was an infinite loop. You can see that this switch here is actually in a do while. So being that's in a do while, if you screw up something, you could never end, because it's up to me to move to the EOL found state. When parser state is EOL found, the while will break. We will get out of the loop. So what we were doing here is computing the bytes to go. Bytes to go is how many bytes we have to read from the point where we've got up until the end. And then we will try to divide, we divided bytes to go by 8192, which is the default size of a socket packet, a chunk you get from the socket. So we got that. And after that, if the division was returning more than 1, it meant that we still have a lot of stuff to get into from the stream and then to put it into the file. So we just keep going. We call stream getLine, get another chunk, compute the length of the chunk just to be sure that it's what it should be. It should be this long. Increase, yeah, well, this is wrong. Chunk len. Increase the byte counter by the quantity that we took in, and write the chunk to the file. So up until this point, everything's very easy. Then we were to the part that's pretty sketchy, because when the division, the integer division, says 1, it means that we have more like 8,000 bytes to go plus change. So change could be 0, could be a little bit more than 0. It's of course less than 8,192, because otherwise it would have said 2, not 1. In that case, what we do is to compute the remainder. After eating this 8,192 bytes long chunk, we will have to eat the change. The change contains the boundary, as we said before, this one. Actually, this new line, the boundary, and another new line. So we want to be able to set apart the data, which is up to this point, from the end of the message, which we don't like and we don't want to get into the file. So we must compute how much change we have, the length of the final part of the change, which we must ignore, and then just get that quantity of change in. And the difficult thing is that we might have exactly 0 change. Actually, exactly so much change that it amounts to this. A little bit more change than this. So next iteration we will have to read this, and we just want to keep this. Or so little change that we end up reading up until this point in this iteration, and we should read this in the next iteration. So already in this iteration we want to stop way before. We want to stop here. Okay? So what we do is to say, let's compute the future bytes to go, which is the change, okay? If the future bytes to go are less than, and here we have this kind of strange computation that we will change now, because it's expected last line length plus 2, because there was a misconception, I had a misconception about the expected last line length. You can see that expected last line length was computed as the string length, which in PHP is the number of bytes, because there is for the number of characters you have MB string length, multi-byte string length, which is compatible with ASCII. Expected last line length is the string length of this thing here, and this thing didn't take into account that there is this just before. So we could call it somewhat differently. Instead of expected last line, we could call it trail, like trailer bytes, something like that. Yeah, trailer bytes could be the right term. Trailer bytes, trailing. Trailer bytes, actually. Look at it. There is no dissector dissecting the trailer bytes. Trailer bytes are a good name. So trailer bytes, expected trailer bytes actually, because we don't know if everything went fine, which is this, and the expected trailer bytes count could be this. So we get back to where we were before, see if last line, God, let me see, expected last line length, yeah, which was used only here, by the way, yeah, only in this little chunk of code, yeah, because I don't see any more highlighting around the file. So if future bytes to go less than expected trailer bytes count, and here we have that again, expected trailer bytes count, expected trailer bytes count, expected trailer bytes count. That's fine. Of course, we removed the +2, okay, but it's already embedded in the expected trailer bytes string, which is, as we said, this one. So that's okay, that's fine. Now, just to be sure, sanity check, we go and yeah, in fact, everything broke. Line 46, what did I do wrong? Line 46, he is actually right, or it is actually right, actually. Expected trailer bytes, yeah, now should be fine. That's fine. At this point, we have to get a little bit braver and start testing these other situations, which, by the way, requires me to get rid of this, but I don't think I'm ready. So let's take a picture, which 207 kilobytes is a little bit, it's not enough, because actually it is, because we eat 8 kilobytes a time. So let's say 207, just to be sure. Is kilobytes 1024 times number of kilobytes, or this is the size in bytes, so I will just copy it. I'm having the hardest time with the most stupid thing I'm trying to do in this stream, actually. Get it here, divided by 8192, actually, I guess. Should be right. It's 25 and change. So 25 and so much change. It actually means we should end up here. Because if we divide everything by 8192, when we get to the near the end, there will be a point where it's 1.889. Yeah. So it's more than one. So we will enter this branch. We will try to eat this quantity, increase the byte counter, right? And then next time it will be, wait a sec, it will be, no, sorry, we'll enter this one, and the future bytes to go will be much more than the expected trailer bytes count. So this quantity. And this means we will eat this amount, increase the byte counter. I just noticed that I did the same mistake over and over again because I think I copied that string, that line over. So there's that. Byte counter, byte counter, byte counter. I have right. So hear me out. If I do this, I'm simply getting to the point where next time when I get here, int div of bytes to go will be 0. Bytes to go and 8 kilobytes will be 0. So it will not enter here, it will enter here, and this we know it's working. So actually, if I'm not mistaken, well, let's say it was 25, no, 25 and change. So let's say if it's more than 26, we failed at something. Log debug, something is wrong. Stop it and call it a day, because we don't want to get to the point we got last time where the browser was going berserk and pumping bytes forever. Yeah, let's try. Let's be faithful. What was the image? This one. Open. It seems to have worked. So I must say I'm happy with that. Let me go in the upload folder. The upload folder should contain a file. Yeah, just uploaded right now. Let's open it with Paint. And it's here. So it worked. It worked pretty well, actually. First try. You can see that it started saying that it had 25, 24, 23, 22, and down to 1 when dividing bytes to go by 8,120. I don't remember the name. 8,192. And also, if I say 0. Oh God, let me see the. Let me copy this. Copy 0. No. How's it even possible? I was usually able to see. Okay, 0. 8890380859379375 times 8192. That was not times, that was divided by God. Just a sec. And I managed to screw that up again. Times 8192, it's actually 7,283 bytes, which if we add back some 46, I guess, amounts to 7329. It's 46 because it's the length of the part that we don't want to read. So this is quite working. At this point, the division says 0, so we enter the solitary else, and it's good to go. At that point, we find the carriage return, line feed, and then last line, which which has a new line at the end too. So this is okay. This is very good. I'm thinking about the fact that we need to find files that fall into the other two categories. So when it's more than one and exactly equal one, this one will be challenging. We will probably we will have to sorry, not that, where the future bytes to go is less than the expected trailer bytes count and exactly the expected trailer bytes count. Just a quick bonsoir. I have to return to my tree. Shimpri P1. Tell him he's doing good. Thank you, Max. Appreciate it. So these, I was saying, those two are challenging. I think I will have to curate a couple files so that they end up in this particular situation, which is not that difficult to do actually, because we could just do this. Look at me. We could create a new file like mambojumbo.jpg and exploit the power of the exponential by saying 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, which are 10 characters. If I take 10 characters and copy them over for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times, then let's say I do this, this should be 100 characters, including the new line. Another time, 2, 3, 4, what did I do? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this should be 1 kilobyte, if I'm not wrong. Let's save it. 801 bytes. Why is that? Because I can't count. 4, 8, 9, and 10. 1001, because we have a new line. This is 1 kilobyte. Actually, 1000 bytes, because 1 kilobyte should be 1024. But now we can copy this and say 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If I save this, it's 8,100, and then we can do this and say, let's save it. 10. Okay, no, too far. This was a mistake. Let me. Oh my god, I'm bad at this. Okay, so this is 9,000. If I go and delete 8981, how many do I have to put in? 8192. Okay, I'm completely wrong. 8192 it must be. So like this, one less. This is exactly 8,192 bytes, which should make this happen. Look at me. Eyes on me. Where are we? Here. Int div between bytes to go and 8,192 should be exactly one where future bytes to go should end up being... No, that won't work, because I have to take 46 away from there, because we have the 46 from the last line. Let's call it that, the trailer bytes. So we have to remove 46 from here. Is it true? Yes. No. No, it's not. Yeah, no, it's... Oh my god, it's difficult. No. Wait a sec. Actually, future bytes to go in this case will exactly be this. Because the moment we start reading the file, the actual file after the headers, we have 8192 bytes plus the trailer. So the moment we divide the bytes to go by 8192, we get 1, and the future bytes to go, which is a reminder, it's 46. So being that this is 46, this should be where we get into. So I expect to find an equals. Well, first thing first, I like to say that this is a little bit too much, so we will stop it before. That's a safety guard here, a guardrail, not to fall into the void. Bytes to read 8192. Yep. I guess that's okay, because then parser state will go to reading last line, and reading last line already proved valuable. It works. This one works. So let's try it. Let's hope it works. If I do something like this and go here and pick the very random file I create. No, well, I went far too up. Open. It worked? It worked. Did we get the equal? Yeah, we got the equal. And then if I go and see the file here on the up in the upload folder, 2211, which is just a moment before now, properties, exactly 8 kilobytes. And if I open it with a text editor this time, because the picture would be completely broken, it's that. So it worked. It worked. Let me see. Let me see it with Paint. Let's see if it makes any sense. I think it will crash. It will say it's not a valid JPEG, but I still want to try it. Yeah. Okay. Not a valid bitmap file, or its format is not currently supported. Okay, perfect. So this was a triumph, and then we have just to make it a little bit shorter or a little bit longer. If it's a little bit longer, we will future bytes to go is less than if it's a little bit longer, we'll end up here, but we already tested that this one. If it's a little bit shorter, this one will be the case. So let's make it a little bit shorter, like 5 bytes less. Yeah, 5 bytes shorter. And back to it. Let's, well, I could actually upload that file here. Unbelievable. Yes, it's 5 less than before. 8349, 8353. This is a difference of 4, not 5. Did I just delete 4 numbers instead of 5? How many are there? 87. It was 92. Strange. Okay, hold on. Let's see. This one is the one. Open with Notepad. And the last is 5. Is it 5? Yes, it is. What if I go like this? 6, 7, 8, 9. This is 91, 98, 7, 8, 9, which is just 1 byte shorter actually. So should still happen the same as before. Let's put it here. 8399. Yeah, but it's composite with the rest of the payload. And here we have this file. And if I open it with Notepad, yep. So nothing is getting lost in the process. This is nice. Last try. Well, actually, the last one would be to make it be something like that. It's a little bit longer, so we already know it works, but just to be sure. Log debug more than, greater than, actually. We have to get rid of this first. I'm not that confident yet, so I will do something else instead. I will load a new one from HTTP docs image. This is fine, and then replace it with God, I don't remember. Here, and it says greater than, and everything is fine. Perfect. 0 solitary else. Yeah, perfect. So I can get rid of that thing I highlighted, and this means that it should work with any kind of picture. So let's say this one, which is huge. This one, which is huge. I heard bad news. Yeah, look at this. It blew up. And that's entirely my fault, I guess. It just couldn't handle that much, and that's probably just because of the log debugs. So let's take them out from here and hope the thing fixes itself. I'm sorry guys, it's always late here when I'm streaming, and even when it isn't late, I still yawn a lot. So let me understand. Is it this the bottleneck? I guess so. In fact, it's now accepting more. Run. No. So we will do it again. I think I have a bug in the logger server. I really don't care, actually. Please, eat some more tokens. You won't have any pudding. I'm gonna assume that this thing will work. Yeah. So let's try it again with this one. It did. So it was just a problem here. Very strange that there is oh god. It's still the stream of bytes from before. The operating system didn't give up. Don't give up, man. Keep going. In fact, my computer was just pumping air like crazy. Give us some more. It's almost done. Almost done, man. Probably the let me see what's going on. The bottleneck will be in yeah, it can't be in the hard drive, actually. Terminal is now doing nothing. Google Chrome not really suffering. Network, I don't see it suffering very much, actually. But at this point, yeah, look at it. Okay. So it was able to free itself. There we go. The last step is to really make it a little bit better, because as we said, this must stay, because we could have a situation where the division says 0. But this actually if you think about it, here expected trailer bytes count minus future bytes to go is 0, right? Because they are the same. So this could be very well be expressed like this: expected trailer bytes count minus future bytes to go. So now this code and this code are exactly the same. So you could have if future bytes to go less than or equal to, but it's even better to say if future bytes to go is greater than expected trailer bytes count, you end up in this situation, right? Else you do this. Which is exactly the same as grouping those other two options, which is equals or less than. Now, the thing is that this case here is handled a little bit here and a little bit here. And I'm wondering, that I could have this division be minus than, less than or equal to 1. So what would happen is that when it's 0, future bytes to go, it's actually not future bytes to go, it's current bytes to go. So no, it won't work. I think it will stay like this. I don't see it becoming much better. I mean, stream get line. It's either string or false. So actually, if it's reading exactly the same amount we told it to read. So there's no reason to compute the string length of the chunk, because the chunk length will be bytes to read, right? And this is one less operation, bytes to read. Which is bytes to read equals 8192. This is bytes to read. I'm thinking. Because well, it doesn't get much better than this, right? This one again becomes 8192. Yeah, this better be this, because it's a little bit less computation, since it's gonna happen a lot. Well, a lot, not really a lot, but you know what I mean. The only thing we should be providing is that if not chunk, some log error, but again, could happen. I'm trying to see if there is a way to make it. I'm trying to think if there is a way to make it a little bit more compact, because it's really not that compact right now. Also, I must tell you, if you're trying to upload more than one file, this strategy won't work. And it won't work because if you have more than one file, the content length will be the sum in bytes of the sizes of the two files, which means that if I read these two files here, like this and this, I can do both right now. Why is that? Probably because I specified it's just one. Let me see, which is not by any means a protection, because one could very well override the HTML from the browser. I want to see if I'm right. It's file input. Is it here? Should be here. This is useless. I mean, this. I found it out today. Target, swap parents encoding, multipart form data. No image, file name, method, target, swap params. There is accept here, but let's see. Input, allow multiple files, upload. How to select multiple files with input type file? You can add multiple attribute to select more than one. So here you can't select more than one, but I could say input type multiple and show you that my code breaks miserably. That's bad. Oh god. It's completely different. How do I do that? Well, not time to test this, but the the point where I wanted to get is that even though we make it work the way I just did, it's not. I decided today that's not the way to go. I will just. I already did this afternoon to replace the put calls with post, because first of all, you must be able to handle multiple files, at least by saying I recognize there are multiple files, and no, I don't want to accept multiple in this case. The problem is you should have some kind of low-level loop that scans one byte after the other and constantly tries to match the boundary string, which I think is what PHP does with its C implementation. It finds the boundary string here in the request. So again, just to be perfectly 100% clear with you, it's well, let me upload an image so I can show you. I broke everything, of course. Where is it? Here, of course. 818192. Be a good lamb and upload the file. Yeah. So here it is. I misclicked. It knows the boundary because it's here in content type, and then when it's parsing the data from here, it's just going. I find a byte, it's a dash, okay, it matches. I find the second byte, it's a dash, okay, it matches. I found the third byte, it's a dash, okay, it matches. And it goes up and up and like this. And if by chance you have this string randomly inside the image, but then it changes, it resets its state. It says, okay, I was mistaken. It was not the boundary string. I go back from the start. And mostly it will happen that when it stumbles upon a couple or three dashes in a row, it thinks it's the beginning of the boundary string, but then it just resets. And it does so on and on and on up until the point where it meets the actual boundary string. When the actual boundary string is found, it stops pushing the stuff into the file. So it's as if I was doing this here, but not getting chunks of 8192 bytes, but just of 1 byte at a time, examining the byte and deciding if I'm on the verge of finding a boundary string or not. If I'm on the verge of finding a boundary string, I stop pushing the bytes into the file, into the temporary file. So as long as I'm not finding anything that remotely looks like the beginning of a boundary string, I take a byte and I let it through. I put it into the file. The moment it starts to seem like a boundary string, I stop dumping the bytes into the file because I could be reading the boundary string. Then, if it turns out it wasn't it, I just write them all at once into the temporary file. Either way, the other way around, if it turns out to be exactly the boundary string, I already stopped. I just close the file, open a new one. If it's the case, there is some more input to read, or I stop entirely. And that should be something that I read for the first time, more or less like that, in the C programming language from Kernian and Ricci. I think there was an exercise like this where you just go constantly f-getting a byte and f-put. No, it was not f-get. It was puts and gets, I guess. Well, wait a sec. Oh, let me see. Pun intended, actually. In the tutorial introduction in chapter 1, should be here. Line counting. Yeah, here there's a get car. There must line copy get line strange. Actually I want to find it because it's good to if you never touch a source again, you start forgetting where you read something. If you go back to the source and try to find where you read something the first time, you just put a new layer of fresh paint on your how do you call it, memories, actually. So let's see. Word counting. Maybe it wasn't here at all. Actually, it's here. Look at this. Copy input to output, second version. Main in C. Oh, I will copy that here. Tab E. It was include stdio stdio dot age main int C while C equals get car. It's difference from end of file put car C, and this was just copying the input to the output. Oh god, it's exploding. Wait a sec. But you could very well put a couple of curly brackets here and do stuff like having I'm a bit rusty with C, but let's say we have the boundary string here like this. Okay, and I guess you could do something like what am I doing? Car boundary string equals, or better, boundary string, and simply say that you also have int pointer and set it to 0 if C equals boundary string PT what you do is avoid putting the character to the stream. You just, you could save it in another array, but it's a waste because it's already in a boundary string. So you just say pt++ else this, else pt equals 0. Wait, actually, if pt equals 0, you just put the character, else pt was more than 0, so you go like this: for int j equals 0, not 0, pt j pt minus 1, actually, I guess, j greater than 0, j minus minus, and you go like this: put car boundary string j. Let's save this file like example.c, so I have some, yeah. If I'm not mistaken, this should work, because what happens is that you get one car at a time from the input stream. If at the beginning you have pt set to 0, so it points here in the boundary string. If C is exactly the same as the first character of the boundary string, you increase the pointer, you set it here. So next next trip around the while loop, if the next character is again the same, you increase the pointer, and then you increase the pointer, and then if you're matching all these characters in a row. Let's say you get up to this point, so you found a string like this in your input stream. Then PT is here. And the next character is not an S, is something else entirely, like a P, for example, or another dash, what you want. In that case, you have to start from PT minus 1, because you avoided putting all these characters through, okay? And put this character, decrease the index, put this character, decrease the index, put this character, decrease the index. Actually, we could just do this. Instead of relying on J, we could go like PT equals PT minus minus, okay? This does nothing. PT like this, or this could be the case. Yeah, no, well, that's okay. And then at the end, what happens is that the last time you have PT equals 1, it puts the character, it actually, even when it's 0, so it's greater than or equal to 0. At the end, you just do PT plus plus again to make it to 0 again, because you don't want to go below 0 with PT. And also you put the last character you got in, which is C, and you're back again. So this should do what I expect PHP to do when reading from that stream to move the data from the input string to the post. And if it matches the entire boundary string, so if PT is exactly like I don't know, we should know that the boundary string is long 30 characters long. If PT equals 31, kind of break from the while, something like that, close the file, open another one, then you have to take into account the how do you call it, line feed and carriage return, the other way around actually, and stuff like that. But this is the kind of thing you can do with C, because it's working very fast on the stream of bytes. If I do it in PHP, it becomes very, very slow, I guess. Let's say we have a 1 megabyte file and we rely on a while loop in PHP and check 1 byte after the other, one byte by one. I guess I wouldn't do that with PHP. Must be slow. Also, there's something interesting here, which says, I found it today. Do you remember I told you that HTTP post has much the upload of files upload via post has much better support in PHP. If you upload files through post, apart from having all the stuff that I just told done automatically, you also get the files into the temporary folder you indicated in the PHP ini file by default. So they go there without you without you having to move them there. And you can call, I mean, I could call this on the file too, actually. I could call this on the file too, because it returns true if the file name by file name was uploaded via HTTP post. This is useful to help ensure that a malicious user hasn't tried to trick the script into working on files upon which it should not be working. For instance, this. Because if you upload, if you upload a file and inject some clever, not that clever, but actually file names and paths through the request, you could be able to edit some sensitive files, and so either gain control of stuff, because I guess if you're overriding password, then you can just try to connect with SSH and you just injected the password you wanted to the system, so you can get control of the system. Or you could just bully us and delete some files that you know we need from the comfort of your room. And that's bad. Okay, so if I call this function on a file and it says, yeah, well, the file you're dealing with, it's something that was just uploaded, there's no issue at all, because you don't have any risk of the user manipulating files they are not supposed to manipulate. They are manipulating files that they just uploaded. And I'm very, I'm not sure about how this works at all. You call it on files, user file, temporary name. Okay. Oh, okay. Move uploaded file does this check already. It provides no extra security, only when you're trying to use an uploaded file for something other than moving it to a new location. Let me see. I never dug into PHP's code, actually. A lot of type defs. PHP get nan. Well, how long is this file? A lot. Not a lot. Yeah, well. Okay, a little short of 2600 lines. Where is it? Where is it? Move uploaded file. Move a file if and only if it was created by an upload. Yeah, it says that. And then there is uploaded file. Check if file was created by RFC 1867 upload. So they're right. So what I'm saying is, instead of trying to match all the features that PHP provides for the post uploads, which I guess, I'm not positive that this thing wouldn't work on a file that I uploaded through put requests. I should try it, but I don't want to take a chance. Not unless I do proper testing, and I don't have the time for that, because I have to deliver a system. And if I have to deliver a system and the customer is paying for the system, all the development that is not necessary to get that system working properly, I cannot bill it to the customer. Which means developing my own framework where put uploads are feasible is not needed. It's not strictly needed to have that system up and running, because I can just simply make all the requests, post requests, and get on with it, which is what I did. So we will now do this. We will delete this, close this, move here, git status, delete example.c, mambo jumbo. Oh well, mambo jumbo can stay. I may need it in the future. Actually, if I'll need it, I will simply craft one again. Let's see what's in script.php. Database, get connection, file result, file rows, file result, delete by ID. I really don't remember this. Well, kind of, but I'd say I don't need it right now. So git status, git diff src multipart from the .php. That went. Let me just say multipart form data, if not chunk get error, if not chunk log error, if not chunk log error. Even here, why do I keep making always the same mistake again and again and again and on and on? Copy it like this so I can paste it easier. Because I'm planning to get back on this part of the code, but just not in a while. This is not needed. Read from stream. Yeah, not needed, because we overrode that code. So this has to go. This has to go. This has to go. This is fine. Log debug here, not needed anymore. I'll let it live here, I guess. EOL found, byte counter is back, content length is content length. This shouldn't happen, actually, because we moved to the last line before that happening. And when reading the header, fgets could also return false, right? Could it? Fgets PHP false on failure. Yeah. So if not line, handle error. I also think that if you have an error there, it will just raise an error at the PHP system level. So I have I just implemented somewhere else. It's half baked. I mean, I'm at the 80% of the implementation. Custom, how do you call it? Error handler, and at that, if you use that error handler, it will simply log the thing to the to a log file autonomously, and then exit. So and also return 500. So this wouldn't even be needed. But I will leave it here as a marker, so I know that I have to check if implementing the log system fixes this, covers this case actually. So this is done. I could, well, this could stay up and running. I can go git diffing this one more time. There's that. There's that. If not chunk, yeah, that's okay. That's also okay. This is the old code. Yeah. So I can add this file. There's nothing else. Git commit -m finished chunk by chunk parsing of puts uploaded files, and this is it. Git status, git checkout, master. Here we have 10 commits. We have a stash to pop, so git stash pop, and we can get on with actual development. Which means we have half an hour to make something that does something. I can show you. Let's close this file and this, and also this, and also this. Those are all things we don't need anymore. If I move to well, here where we are, that's fine. And I load I now set the limit to 1 megabyte just to trigger the error every time possible. I did this, which was what I tried to do since the beginning of this series of live streams. And why is the style very different from before? I don't know, but yeah, strange. It says that the file you uploaded is bigger than the maximum dimension, which is now 1 megabyte. This shouldn't have happened. I really don't know what happened here. What the hell? What the hell? And this is not the loading, deleting. Oh, yeah, well. Why is that? No state found for given ID. So shouldn't be here in the first place. This is properly strange. I guess I should get rid of the current state, actually. And also, I think I know what happened there. That works. So probably is the pictures. Let's say I do this. Please help me proceed. Yeah. This stinks because it doesn't work. What happened? Uncaught type error. All right. Okay. I now remember where I was. I was working exclusively on this. In fact, it's strange that it didn't work here. Why is it doing this? Oh God. That's proper strange. CGI being display case, yeah. Content length, yeah. Which is here. Here you have the modal rendering. Then here you have upload only on post, which is this new function in src file. Upload only post. Allowed types if file http data size more than file max upload size, respond with an error, delete the file, log debug. Size major than file max upload size. Let's move here. Let's do this. I really don't understand why it should be triggering this. This is one request. Oh, maybe this one is doing something. Modal close. Why is modal close triggering anything else? Because this said I respond like that and I'm fine with it. Even if I didn't test what I wanted to test, because there is this check here about the content length, this one, which I must comment if I want to see if the inner one does anything. Right? Oh my god. Okay. It was a hair that ended up on my tongue. Why? Why are you calling this? Is there anything I don't know? Sorry. HTTP JS display case. No. JS file submit does nothing. Modal remove, modal undefined. I really don't know what triggers that request, actually, because that was not happening. It's as if someone was clicking this. Oh, wait. I know why. I may know why, actually. I think this is possibly the reason. Yeah, well, actually, it's already here, so yeah, we don't need that. That may have been the problem. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, right, because now it's doing it here. So I really don't know if I need two layers, because you see, if the where is it? If the headers, if the content length header already says that we exceeded the maximum upload size, it's time to stop. So it's good to have it here. But we could also do it at a later stage. So if someone tinkers with the content length header, we can check the size of the file, which comes from here, and that comes from the PHP array, the superglobal, not the array, the superglobal files. You can see it here, file HTTP data. Oh, wait, oh god. It's exactly from files key size here, which might as well be we cannot trust this one either. The only number we can trust is if we measure the size of the file when it's on our system. Or we can we could trust this one actually, because maybe this one is well, actually, wait a sec. PHP ini will save us from the pain, because it will just respond no to any file bigger than what we set. So that's the way to avoid people trying to fill our permanent storage with huge files. If I try to upload a gigabyte large file, PHP would throw an error, which we can try to do right now. Let me see. Wait, not from here. I should do it here and here and find something that's bigger than 16 megabytes. So is there anything here that could do the trick? Image, kilobytes, no. Maybe in PDFs, no. What can I do? Pink Planet. Do we have any large JPEG files? View details. No. Reels. No. No and no. View details. Nothing here. I don't want to upload a whole video. It may take a while. 4K videos. These are actually, if I don't do this, I will have no success. These are too big. You see, we jump from 4 megabytes to up to 78 megabytes. Well, this could do the trick actually. You see, that's not what I expected to see. Wait a sec. Trying to access type null file HTTP data on line 22. Why is that? Original file name here. Why isn't that there? Payload, view source. It's as if it tried to parse the file but stopped before finishing and that's not what I expect. I would expect base name. I would expect a better error. Maybe that's my fault. Maybe that's on me. Let me see. SRC preprocessor. Display error is 0, and what if I say E all and try to do that again? Go. No. This. Still. I thought it was me that I didn't that I did something wrong, that the code was broken last time when I couldn't get a meaningful error for a file too big. But it seems like it's not me at all. Also, it's as if it was truncating the file instead of telling us directly, no, man, this is too big. I stop here, I tell you it's too big, I give you a very explicit error about the fact that it is too big. It's not doing that. Headers. You see, content length, way too big. And we are sure that it should be breaking. Let me do one thing. Let me do this. Actually, yeah. Let me do this. Let's say I edit the Docker file. Okay. And not run these two commands here. And this one could, well, upload max file size, not 60 megabytes. So this way we can use normal pictures to test it. Then I just stop these guys here. This stopped as a consequence. This didn't, right? Okay. So there must be some Docker compose up build detach build build images before starting container. Yeah, build. I remembered that correctly, which I could have done differently, but that's what it came to my mind. Docker exec. Let's check if everything is all right. Result. Bash. We will move to etc. No, sorry, USR local etc. PHP vi php.ini and look for upload max file size 2 MB. Yeah, okay, perfect. It worked. And I almost broke my ankle by sitting, which is remarkable if you ask me. I'm made of sugar. Now, if we try the same shenanigan we tried before, we can get away with please would you consider working? What's wrong with it? Come on. Pending. Are we there yet? Are we having the same trouble? Yeah. For some reason, when I'm streaming, at some point, with no justification whatsoever, localhost stops working. I still didn't find a solution to that. I really can't fathom what's going on. Anyway, now we can go back here to our folder. And, well, actually, let me see one thing. If I go to Risalto and upload. Yeah, those files weren't created. I really don't know if they are created in the TMP folder or not. I will check right now because I want to go to image, upload this one. This one is too big. Warning. Oh, look at this. That's peculiar. 200, sorry. Response. Warning, post content. Oh, look at this. There is the error, actually. Then the code breaks, but there is an error, and we are not handling. What if I create an error handler, just copying it from the other project? Let's try this last thing before wrapping it up. Doc foodie. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I did it in include. No, it was not included. It was something like an external test. Test f open error. Test logger. Test HTML. Really don't remember. This one is the one. Test f open error. My error handler. You can see it here. So I could do something like let's try it here first in the no CGI being display case page. So let's do it here. Function. Why am I eating cloth? It's coming out of nowhere. Custom error handler. Let's copy the signature because I'm a lazy person. I'm learning to be lazy and it's paying off. Yeah, well, this is pretty standard. So, okay, this is also pretty standard. This is, I mean, yeah. And we don't have these ones, but we could do this. Look at me. Look at me going. Just wait a sec and you'll see. Log debug. Warning. Error string. Log debug. Notice. Error string. Actually, if hello, Infermigo. When did you get here? I didn't see you popping up. Sorry, I was focused on my work. If you're still here, just knock twice. The problem is that being it a warning, it won't stop the execution of the it won't stop the execution of the script. And I really don't know how to make it fatal if it's just a warning, because you see, warning, post content length of bytes exceeds the limit of online 0. Fine. How do I catch this? How do I catch this? Handling warning post content too long. I am handling the error warning after well, actually I could have the error handler specifically watching for that warning. So in here I could say, okay, let's see what the error string is, because if the warning it's about uploading a file that's too big, but again here it's relying on content length. What if I posted a file and changed content length to be less than the limit? Would it be tricked? Would it be tricked? How did other people solve this problem? That is a startup error. So probably if it's a startup error, it won't even be handled by the error handler. Let's try. Let's say recoverable error. Let's go down the route the path I just paved and see if it's not paying out as I expect. Function my exception handler throwable e. This, and then we set the error handler here. Let's say that this is custom exception handler, custom error handler, and then set exception handler custom. Why customer? My muscle memory is writing customer even if I don't want it to. Exception handler, and that's it. Ini set display errors 0, and this should be after preprocessor start because it may get overridden if I don't do that. So here we go. Let's try that again. Let's go with this file. This one is a core warning. So yeah, the guy here is perfectly right. You should before you do this, you should prepare your script in the way that it should check the uploaded content size and give user a proper information message. The fact that the warning doesn't show does not mean that you should do nothing about it. It means the exact opposite. You should do all that you can to make something at least near equal to the warning raise. Check, double check if you can, handle error, and raise your own error message. It's not that evil as it seems to be. Please note that this turns off startup errors only. So all the regular PHP errors, warnings, notices stay on. Perfect. Even XAMPP PHP itself recommends for production. Display startup errors. PHP flag setting. You can, of course, also set it by default in your php.ini if you have a custom installation of PHP, which we have. So we will move to Docker file, right? Docker file, and also open the php.ini file. You see that here it got the exception. Yeah, the error have been, I mean, the error or the exception, I'm not sure. The exception, because you have get message and get trace a string. If not, I would have got something like log debug. I mean, something like warning or notice or a recoverable error. So this one is the exception. There is a notice here. There is a notice. Warning and the file array key, quote, site printed, right, file, quote. Yeah, okay. Where was it? I could open one here because it was shut down before. Docker exec minus, I don't know why I say Docker, right? It's a Docker. Result, www bash, move one back, then no, actually I was going with the autopilot. USR local etc php vi php.ini, and there is display startup errors. Default value on, development value on, production value off. Let's say off, right? If I say off and supposedly just stop and start the containers again, supposedly, no, not build, sorry, yeah, like this, I should succeed at not seeing that message again. Yep, but this time nothing got printed and I lost that thing. So yeah, I need to handle it explicitly. Let's say, first of all, let's make that change permanent, and then our time is over actually. But the last thing we will do is change this line. Where is it? Yeah, right. It got me. Here it is. Display startup errors from on to off. So we go here and say run sed minus ri minus e substitute replace. That's not what I meant. That's not what I meant again. That's again not what I meant. Why is it copying that number? What is it, that number? Where did I get it? Let's copy this. Copy, please. No, it's not working, so we will do it by hand. Display startup errors equals display startup errors equals what is it, 16 megabytes. What am I saying? Off. I'm tired. I mean, on must be turned off. So start up errors equals off, and that must happen where? In USR local etc php.ini. That's fine. So what happened here. Don't fall, please. Stay up on the table. That's your place. I will now if I can find my pen, here it is. And write down that I got to this point where I added the error handler manually to display case, and it's still incomplete. And same goes for the exception handler. Line 96, watch out for wild ini set, and then must handle file too large manually. It will result in errors raised in HTTP. What was it? File data? Is it that? Yeah, file HTTP data in file HTTP data if content type is tampered with. So we have a few spots where we can try to catch and respond with a 400 and handle it gracefully, but I can tell you, if you're tampering with the front end and sending content length which says the wrong number of bytes, and my system breaks because of that, you deserve all the glitches. I mean, the important thing is that I don't save the file, so I will still put some harnesses in file HTTP data because I don't want it to break like that. I want the execution to keep go on. I want it to keep going. I don't know if it's proper English, but it's late. I don't mind in this moment. I want to be sure that the file does not even get created in TMP. That's it. That's the thing I will check next time. Is the file still? I don't think it's created in TMP, because if it was, we wouldn't have null here, but I'll check. Content type not specified, assuming application x www form URL encoded, which is not right actually, but is the file still created in TMP folder or not? So here we are, 2 hours and 6 minutes in. Thank you very much for joining me, for everyone that passed by. And this Wednesday, actually, I have something to do. So I will update the schedule and stream on Thursday night. at 9:30 p.m. Not because of you, because I said I will go play guitar on Wednesday without realizing I was streaming, and now it's too late to how to say, take it back. Thank you very much. I will update the schedule right away, and see you soon. Bye. If I can find the button. How do I stop this stream? Like this.